we learned from the recent Todonyang massacre. And to guide us, we are deeply honored to have a true champion of peace with us, a man whose tireless efforts have earned him national recognition is none other than Mr. Abdi Adan, the esteemed Atacare Peace Ambassador and National Hero. So stay with us, our valued viewers, as we engage in this vital conversation about building a more peaceful future for Turkana North. Mr. Abdi, karibu sana.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Karibuni sana, and maybe the first question will be, we will maybe focus on the title you earned and the recognition you earned nationally. So how significant was the moment for you?
Yeah, it was very significant because first I need to introduce myself.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Abdi Achege Adan. I come from Turkana North.
Okay.
The Greater North, because Kibish sub-county and North is one previously, but currently born in Kibish, raised in Turkana North. Yeah, I'm passionate about peace, and my background has been all along about peace. And when the recognition came, it was just at the right moment.
Wow.
Just to let you know, I was listed in the county government around 2021. But previously I was working with local organizations around, like SAPCON.
Okay.
At the same time on peace issues.
Okay.
And having brought up from an environment that has been in conflict for a very long time.
Yeah.
And bordering Ethiopia, you know, Kibish borders Ethiopia and South Sudan.
Yes, sure.
And most of the time we've had conflicts here and there, especially the pastoralists, you know, the issue mostly revolves around water and pasture. And you realize you cannot live, Turkana people, they cannot live without pastoralists, livestock. Yeah? So when I started working with the local communities along the border, it was one of the moments we are able to open Kibish border. That is where my recognitions come from.
Wow.
After engaging communities at different levels, different stakeholders, and we were able to have peace. And we used different approaches that people never thought it can bring people together.
Yeah.
Like if you use the church.
Okay.
The church.
That was one of the ways you used to bring peace.
Yeah, you know, we encourage pastors, the preachers, to go across the border, bring the communities together. We used sports for peace, bring the youth together, play football, you know, recovery of stolen livestock, you know, different approaches we used. And through that, and also the use of media, you know, most of the media people used to call me, get more stories from me, publishing it. And now when the recognition came in, it was the right time because at least we've done something.
Yeah.
And the peace lasted for around 4 years. I was recognized last year.
Wow.
Yeah. And it is something that we really appreciate. I really personally appreciate it, and also the community themselves. They say, like, this is what you deserve. Okay. Because for the peace efforts we've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe to let the audience know, who recognized you?
Yeah, it is the president himself.
Good.
Yeah, you know, an honor from this is an honor from the state, where I think we went through the national government, the county government has to be consulted. Also other various stakeholders like security teams, like who is this person, what is he really doing? You know?
Yeah.
You have to go various stages until when now you are recognized. And you know, it was a notice was put on a newspaper that if you have an objection on any of the individuals listed below, the national heroes,
Yeah.
then you can swear an affidavit and bring your case forward.
Yeah.
But lucky enough, there was no one, especially from Turkana. Having coming from Turkana, so no one from Turkana objected that. So I think that is what shows that it was a real one. And I'm happy to say, you know, peace is very expensive.
It is.
And you must sacrifice
To earn it.
you must you must go through various challenges. It is very expensive. Volatile and spot areas.
Yeah.
I grew up in Kibish, Lokomarenyang, Kokoro, relatives. My grandparents, my uncles, my friends we grew with. We lost livestock. As a source of income or a livelihood, we've lost it to our neighbors across the border.
Yeah.
For a very long time.
Yes.
And I have always wished being together. Just if you look at the Turkana and the neighboring in Uganda, we are one.
Yeah.
We are only separated by these states. Like we are in Kenya, they are in Ethiopia, they are in South Sudan. But we speak one language, our culture is the same, our everything is the same. To see the Ateker people or the people we border in our borders living together. For example, my mother and her neighbors or relatives, they can go to Ethiopia. They cross the border.
Yeah.
When there was a lot of hunger on the Turkana side, there was a lot of food on the Ethiopian side. You see?
Yeah.
Same to that, when we look also at how we buy items. In Kenya, we can use money, we can use, or we can exchange with the livestock, food.
Sure.
But when you go to Ethiopian side, when you go with your jerrycan, empty jerrycan, you go to Ethiopian side. They just fill the jerrycan with the sorghum, and that's the so. If you go with a 20-liter jerrycan, they fill sorghum into that jerrycan, and then they exchange with you. You give them the jerrycan, you take the sorghum. So to me, given the living condition of the Turkana people, there was a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
Especially there was no food, all that. So to me, it was really good to connect with our communities across the border. Also the climatic conditions. If you look the climatic conditions on the Ethiopian side or South Sudan or Uganda, the Turkana side is the worst. You see?
Yeah.
So you can only, during dry seasons, our pastoralists can migrate to Ethiopia, South Sudan, or Uganda, just along the border.
Yeah.
And the climate conditions there were better than the Turkana side.
Yeah.
So to me, what was driving me, I had a feeling that if we had peace with our neighboring communities, our people will live a good life.
Yeah.
Both food and the livestock. Livestock can access water and pasture on the other side without struggle.
Yeah.
We can access also food because the communities on the other side, they are more friendly. Once we have peace, it's like of your family that you missed for long. So we have the best fish. We have along the border, you see commodities on the Ethiopian side, they're cheaper than the so our people can access cheaper commodities on the other side. They can sell their livestock on better prices on the other side. So that is what really motivated me a lot. And also, when you're given the mandate as an officer, maybe to play a role of ensuring there is peace amongst these communities, what do? You have to ensure there is peace at any cost.
Yeah.
So we have to try bring all stakeholders around. But for the Turkana case, both government, county, national government, and partners played a critical role in ensuring that there is peace.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I may ask, from your perspective, what do you think brings a lack of peace in the northern part of Turkana, or rather, for lack of a better word, rivalry with the neighboring countries?
Yeah, there are many factors. There are many factors. One, to me, I can say one of it is climate change.
Well,
Climate change. Second, it's the kind of life.
I would like to know how climate change does it.
Yeah, climate change comes in a way that, you know, droughts.
Yeah.
The Turkana say, where the cow goes, it has to go. It is dry on the Kenyan side, but there is grass on the Ethiopian side. Whether we are in peace or at conflict, they have to go. And they have to access the pasture,
Yes.
whether by bullet or by peace, through peace.
I get.
You see?
I get.
So that is what brings challenge. Before even stakeholders or government come in to negotiate, the cow cannot wait.
Ah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The cow cannot wait. Because now the cow, we have children behind the cow. Because these little kids, they have to get milk
Yeah.
for them to feed. Women or any other person has to eat. And we are all feeding from this cow. The cow has to get pasture so that we milk or we get blood out of it. So if we don't, we have to push this cow to where it is. So I think that is when I say climate change.
Yes.
Because you cannot have rains on the Ethiopian side and we have no rain on the Kenyan side. Not Ethiopian, but at least at the border.
Yes.
The Nyangatom, the Dasanaj, or the Toposa. Their livestock, they look healthy, they produce good milk. Another one is, now when there's a lot of drought, you know, we lose a lot of livestock, like the Turkana side. And we see our neighbors, they have a lot of livestock. What do? We go and raid and take them.
Yes.
So that is when I say climate change is
Yeah.
one of the contributing factors to conflicts, especially on the northern part.
Yeah.
Secondly, I want to say the life standards or the conditions of the Turkana people and the neighbors, especially the region itself, the Atekere people. Their lifestyle is they are pastoralists. Some of them are agro-pastoralists. And they have always believed in, if you cannot ask from a friend, you have to go and raid to replenish your lost flocks.
Yeah.
Like if your cattle have died, if you want to marry, you see, I have to pay a number of cows.
Yeah.
So if I have to, where will I get them? I cannot buy, I don't have money. What do? And we have a neighbor who has a lot of cattle. So I have to go there and raid. Yeah. So I think that is, and also we have policies. Okay, not policies, but you know, this issue of boundaries. Like this is Kenya, this is Ethiopia, this is Uganda, this is South Sudan. You know, I think that is also that one also contributes to this conflict, because these communities believe he is not my relative. He is from a different country. So if I go and raid him, there will be no problem. And that is why currently you see a lot of governments, organizations, especially IGAD, working on transboundary something, trying to enlighten communities, especially pastoralist communities, on telling them boundaries are just lines.
Yes.
They're just imaginary lines. So it should not bother the communities living there. You can live there and you can live on the other side, but you are an Ethiopian. You can live on the other side, but you are a Kenyan, you see. So these lines should not separate, or these lines should not create conflict amongst ourselves.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would also like to know maybe some of the significant peace initiatives you've implemented or something, and how they are significant to the concerned communities, if there are any.
Yeah, we've done a lot. And you know, the one that is very much significant is dialogue. You know, dialogue, this is where communities members are brought together. Various stakeholders are brought together. So when they came together, they discuss and they talk about their issues that affects them.
Yeah.
And they get solutions there.
Yeah.
Okay? So they don't have to wait.
Yeah.
It's like you bring complainant and somebody who is suspected to have done an issue.
Yes.
So when you bring them together, they dialogue, they share their issues, and they get their own solutions. You see, community dialogues are very key in peace building.
Yeah.
Because in community dialogue, you have to ensure that there are various stakeholders. If it is government, administration, youth, women, you know, all those stakeholders that are there to listen.
Yeah.
And basically, community themselves will get the solution.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
That is one. Two, we've done cultural events.
Okay.
I think you come from Turkana County.
Yes.
And you've heard of various movements like the Turkana community are crossing to the other country like Uganda. There's a cultural event there.
Yes.
In South Sudan, we have one. In Ethiopia, we have one. Yeah. So when we go and share traditional culture, we dance, you know, from those gatherings, people discuss on how to foster peace amongst themselves.
Yeah.
You see, you know, it is very unique. If you go to Karamoja, you hear how they speak, you see how they dress. Then you ask them, what is separating us? You know, it's because of conflict. But now, if we have peace, we can be able to live together. Cultural events, it's one. Currently, we have emphasizing also on sports for peace. Because we realize we've left some group up behind, like the elites, the professionals.
Yes.
Now, we need also to engage them so that they create linkage across the border. You know, when you take a team from Todonya across to the nearest center again there, you will realize these youth will create a linkage themselves, minus government, minus organization, but for themselves they create a network. And through this network, they're able to create more communication. As they create communication, it is not easy for me to allow my brother, who is a pastoralist, to go and raid a community of my friend. No, I'll always tell him, please, I have my friend there, so please don't go. You see. So sports for peace, we've seen it's something that it will be able to build a connection amongst the youth. We've encouraged our communities to share resources. Bring them together, discuss on how to share resources, resource sharing amongst themselves, whereby we discuss with the elders how will the other community access pasture on this side or water. So through that, we're able to tell them how they are able to come, agree, share this pasture, the water or grass. You see, by doing so, they're able to stay together. Because if you realize another community has moved in to access your water point or grazing area without your consent, definitely you'll have to complain.
Sure.
So I think that is those are some of the key things we've tried to do. Like now, if we enhance recovery of stolen livestock, you follow if there is a stolen property, you follow with the security people, administrators, community members, and you recover and return to the right owner. That is what we've tried to emphasize so that we're able to have sustainable peace.
Does the recovering always happen often? Or is it rare?
No, it happens often so long as we have information.
Okay.
So long as information reaches to the right stakeholders on the right time, it happens. Because if we don't recover, a revenge will happen.
Yeah, sure.
If it recurs, then a conflict will occur.
Will arise again.
And we want to avoid that.
Okay. Okay, during your work, what challenges have you encountered when trying to mediate peace among the warring communities?
Yeah, we have various challenges. You see, Turkana is very fast. Yani iko wide. Moving from one point to another. Connectivity, roads, connecting, linking one area to another. Another one, it's government policies.
Okay.
Or structures. You know, if you work now, Kenya, Turkana, Ethiopia, totally different policies. Kidogo, if you look to Uganda on the Kenya about the policies, relatively they're almost similar. Or government structures on the Ugandan side. But Ethiopia is totally different. You'll realize a chief on the Kenyan side is a professional, someone who has gone to school, somebody who can converse in English. But in Ethiopia, it's typically a local who has never gone to school, who is dressed, he doesn't have a nice, if he goes to a meeting, you cannot realize this is a chief.
Yeah.
You see? And personally, I've encountered language barrier.
So there's language barrier.
There's
also.
language barrier, especially on the Ethiopian side. You will find maybe senior government officials, they are not locals. They are from other tribes in Ethiopia. And you find in Ethiopia, their language, the main language they use is Amharic.
Okay.
Which is not usually sisi hatuelewi kama wa Kenya, unaona?
Yeah.
So unapata communicate nao ina Kongo. Now wajui English. They don't know English. Yeah. They don't know English.
Most of them?
Most of them, they don't know English.
Wow.
Yeah. So it becomes a challenge also to raise the issues if you want to. So if you have to translate, you have to use 3 translators maybe from this language to another language.
To the other language.
So you see, also the information is distorted.
Yeah. Distortion of the information.
Those are some of the challenges, and also, you know, peace processes. It's not like constructing a house. Peace building is not like constructing a house.
That.
Like you start from the foundation, you come to the lintel, then you do the roofing, you do the painting, then you're done. In peace, it is a continuous process. You do everything, you sign an agreement today, tomorrow. You see, it is a continuous process. You cannot say you have achieved it. No. You will never achieve peace. What is very important is building structures, training, making the community informed. Let the community lead the process.
Yeah.
Using community-led approaches.
Okay.
You know, when the community themselves own the process, it becomes easy. Like now in Turkana, I think the best one, the Turkanas recognize the peace, it's the Karamoja, the Loima one, this corridor of Loima, Lokiriama, Moroto corridor. Those ones are doing good. Perfect about peace. Now the second one, it is Nyangatom Turkana. Nyangatom, it's the border of Kibish and the Nyangatom of Ethiopia. Those ones now currently, the peace is almost 5 years. And it is through frequent engagement, through the support of government, local partners, international partners, you know, stakeholders. It is a continuous process. It has never ended. They will not tell you, we were doing this previously, currently we are doing this now. But according to programs, there is software and hardwares in peace building.
Yes.
Software is dialogue, meetings, you know, boardrooms, meetings. When you go to hardware, it's now like you put like water dams.
Okay.
You reseed rangelands. Maybe you put roads, security roads, they call security roads. You see, a building, maybe schools, that can be shared along the border. You know, when you build a school along the border, that can be shared.
Sure.
That's an hardware. And this is one of the peace connectors. Health facilities, veterinary services, like vaccination of livestock along the border. When you do such a things, I think these are the things that can be able to sustain peace. But in our area, that is Turkana Northern Kibish, we've not seen that much, but it's being embraced by government.
Sure.
And like we need shared schools, like in Kibish. The communities are proposing the Kibish Primary School be shared school between their neighbors from Ethiopia and them. And also we've seen what the Catholic Church is doing in Todonyang, where they have a school where they wanted to bring the Dasanach from Ethiopia to come and study there.
Yes.
This is all to build relationship and strengthen the ties between the two communities.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe if we go deeper into the recent Todonyang massacre. Before you share your contributions towards restoring sanity into the occurrence of the Todonyang, I would like you to tell me from your perspective how this incident, how you observed the incident. Did you see that the governments, both national and county, and the stakeholders, did they handle it the way you expected, or rather the way it was supposed to be handled?
Yeah, I think the Todonyang incident, it's an unfortunate one. It's one of the worst situations that has ever happened.
Okay.
In the Turkana context, in Turkana North, we've never had such. We've had massacres, but we've never had a situation where we could not be able to get bodies of the people who died. Even after having the list of people who died. Missing. Currently we call them the missing persons. We cannot be able to trace them. I want to say both government, national and county government, if you can see the regional commander coming all the way from Nakuru and stayed in Todonyang. We've seen county government officials from various sectors, they camped in Todonyang. Even we saw the area MP, he stayed there for almost, 2 weeks. Personally, I only played a role of ensuring that I coordinate, like what is happening on the Ethiopian side, communication and all that. But situation, and I'm sure the government, both county and national, what really happened? Why did this happen? And even after happening, we were not be able to access it is you to have to tell me, Abdi, what you're looking for happened here, and this is what you're looking for. But as a Kenyan representative, we were only told, now we get in the boats, we just go in the lake. You see, but we could not get anything. We managed to get only one body that was in water and 2 bodies on the dry land. We managed to get 3 bodies. And I want to give credit to our security team. Turkana County security team, they really did a good work. Led by the county commissioner. That guy did. He was really committed. Also to senior county officials, like various departments. Because when disaster happens, that was like a disaster. Health department was there, disaster was there, various sectors, various officers, senior government officers from the county government. They were there, even office of the governor. Because himself was not able to reach there, but he sent representative to be there to make sure everything that is happening there is documented, at least to keep also the community. Kenya Red Cross. Kenya Red Cross, they were there. Various partners, they were there. When the incident happened, I think it happened at around in the evening. But at night, the same day, I can say all governments, both county and national government, they were there. The only challenge with us, the only challenge we also got, it was communication, language barrier amongst government stakeholders and the Ethiopian and the Kenyan. You cannot be able to converse. In Todonyang, it was not working. In fact, on the day of the incident, it was totally off. Not off, but it was when you call, calls cannot go through.
Yes.
If you send,
Can't go through.
so sometimes the information delayed also because Safaricom failed.
Okay.
Safaricom failed completely, and we sit down and we say, why do we have, that mask, I think was put there at least to help when we have emergency.
Okay.
Sometimes it has some issues.
Okay.
Yeah, so not right.
Okay.
That one was not right because what we at least to confirm, yes, he's died.
Yes, it's
But
that.
this one,
Instead of
not-
living like they are missing, you do not know where they
you
are.
don't know where they are.
Mm.
So, and we have the community there. They are still mourning.
Mm.
They are still mourning because the situation is not. Losing over 30 people just at a go like that
It's not easy.
is not easy. A lot of understanding about the dynamics, the government structures, communication. My role was to ensure there is linkage between the Ethiopian side and the Kenyan side. That was my main role. If there is any information they wanted to get from the other side, that was my role, to ensure that I call, I verify some information, I link them with government stakeholders on the Kenyan side, maybe a security team, administration, that was my role.
Okay.
And I was part of the search team, the people who went to the lake to do the search. Because of my just understanding, my general understanding
Yeah.
on the techniques or tactics on other,
Yes.
because I understand a bit of the language. So when we are in the search team, I could be able to say, no, let's go this direction.
Yes.
I can see,
At least you could maneuver.
I could maneuver, also I can, from the facial expression,
Read their body language.
their body language. So that is really that was my role. That is the role I played. If it is not going through, they will always ask me, Abdi, what can we do to do?
From your point of view, what did not go well, but you actually answered.
Yeah, okay. Like,
So
So
a few
to
of you are the ones who went to search for the people.
Maritime Authority,
Oh, okay.
KMA, they were part of it. We had a team from BMUs, like the BMUs from Todonyang, some member from Kalokol, Todonyang, they were there. We had a team from Pit of Police, but they deal with water issues.
Okay.
Yeah, they were around 3 or 4, yeah, because there was one from Red Cross, from Kenya Maritime, from Coast Guard. Anything went wrong on our side, but I think it was on the Ethiopian side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. These conflicts often arise from scarce resources such as water and pasture, maybe. What strategies do you believe can be implemented to better or manage these resources to reduce tensions in these regions?
The conflict in Todonyang, it's mostly because of fishing grounds.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fish on the deltas. The delta, it's where the river Omo. To me, the only thing that can be done on the Kenyan side, on the Todonyang side, boundaries. In fact, there's no conflict or dispute between Kenya and Ethiopia on the boundary issue. They don't have.
Okay.
Because the border is marked.
Yeah.
So there's a beacon, a Kenyan beacon and Ethiopian beacon. So the first thing that should be done is to ensure we educate these communities along the border. The Ethiopians, this is your boundary. The Turkana, these are your boundary. That is one. Two, they have to share these fishing grounds together peacefully. We must have peace. There is nothing else that during rain seasons. We have big rangelands on the Turkana side. And about water, hand pumps. We have to do solarized water sources. We need to make them solarized or windy
What are
pumps.
hand pumps? Okay.
You know those ones? It's tedious. there's little water that comes out of it.
Oh, okay.
But when you put solar,
Now that's what you feel like it should be done to.
yes, once we do some solarization, water drilling, and what I want to inform you is to inform the public is that as a result of climate belongs to Turkana side. It's inside.
Okay.
Yeah, and this fresh water spills from River Omo.
Oh.
It does not go through the main lake,
Yeah.
but it comes through River Omo. So that small lake, there's plenty of fish. People can do irrigation in that area, along that area.
Sure.
People can conserve that area so that we can pump this water and do reseeding. You see, you do reseeding, you do irrigation with. So these ones, they will be able to help these communities not to cross on the other side because of lack of food. Turkanas have to move to Ethiopian side in search of maybe to do fishing, and as I told you previously, like you find life standards, or there's plenty of food on the Ethiopian side. Food commodities are cheaper, so because they are doing little bit of also irrigation and growing sorghum, maize, and other things. If we can do it also on the Kenya, on the Turkana side, we'll be able to save more lives.
Yeah.
So that we don't expose our communities to danger.
Okay. Oh, now that's your opinion to what it will take to restore peace in the north. Okay, so looking ahead, what's your vision for sustainable peace in Turkana and its neighboring regions? Or rather, how can the community contribute to that vision?
Well, to me, our communities, they are very much willing to embrace peace. The Turkana community, they are good listeners. They follow instructions. They respect laws. I think we should not tire as peace actors, peace champions, government, stakeholders. We should not tire because of this on and over, the conflicts that are happening. But what we're supposed to do, it is to continue engaging our communities.
Okay.
There is a lot of potential along our borders. There is a lot our communities can share. There is a lot that our communities can do to better their lives along these borders. Only if we have peace. We have to invest in this peace. We have to invest. Both government, stakeholders, or any other local community member. And, you know, tell our communities more about the importance of peace. We need
Create
to
awareness.
continue telling them, create awareness. And also engage government on the other side.
Okay.
And communities on the other side. Because, to me, there is little that is being done on the other side.
Okay.
Because our communities, if they are told we have peace, it's okay, we have peace. Now a conflict happens, triggered by the other community. You know, they blame us as peace actors, they blame governments, like you're not doing the right thing. We were at peace, but these people trigger this conflict.
Yes.
So my vision or my aspiration is to see these communities living together. There is a lot that they can do together, which they cannot achieve when they're at conflict.
Yes.
They will kill each other, they will take livestock from each other, the main livestock they can, but they will do very little for themselves.
Okay. Now, peace involves both counterparts. Both are, for example, Ethiopia and Kenya, right? So now that sometimes you feel like Ethiopia isn't participating, or rather they are the ones triggering the Kenyan border. What approach do you think is favorable to make us all come together? Yeah.
Yeah, it is only having it's having what do I say? I can say like bringing both government stakeholders from these areas together.
From both
sides.
Yes.
Bring from Ethiopia, from Kenya. You bring them together frequently.
Okay.
Not like one off.
Yeah, not only when there is
an issue.
Sure.
Let's have frequent meetings. And especially at the grassroots. Like now, if you go to Todonyang, take someone from Todonyang, even if he's a government officer, even just do people within there and other, let them engage frequently. You'll build bond. They'll bond together, and they will understand each other easily. Yeah, but when we take long, I know it's because it is taking long because of also facilitation. How can you engage these community members when you've not facilitated officers maybe to go and attend some of these meetings? You see, so because of resources, there is very little resources, and I told you it is expensive. When I talk of expensive, both in resources and also just human resource. It's expensive for someone to stay long talking. It is expensive for someone to walk distance, going to reach to a friend or a colleague to discuss about peace. It is expensive also to facilitate these meetings.
Yes.
It is very expensive, but it needs dedication.
Yes.
But with the time, our people will realize, even without resources, we can still achieve peace. Yeah.
Okay.
So long as there is willingness.
Yeah, it's actually willingness.
Change of mind.
Yes.
You know the change of mind? Where your mindset knows that we must make peace at any cost. So that we avoid revenge. You kill my uncle, I go and kill,
I kill your aunt.
I'll kill your aunt, you see. Like, previously, during many years back, we used to be told, during conflict, you're not allowed to kill a woman, a breastfeeding mama, an old person, a small child, an aged or an elderly, a lame, somebody who is maybe mentally disturbed, But nowadays,
they don't care.
They don't spare that. You get a woman, you kill. You get an old man, you kill. Just because of fame. Both Turkana or all the Atakar people along this region, if you kill, you'll be recognized as a hero. But those are the things.
Are we still on those years?
Yeah, that is what is happening. Now that if I have to marry, I have to go to my in-laws and they will tell me, if you are ready for this wedding, you have to bring 100 kind of cattle. 200,
where do you get them?
Donkeys and all this. Where will I get them? I have to go and trade and bring them.
Yeah, sure.
So you see, that's a challenge that we still have.
So we have to stop pressuring also.
You need to stop.
That is true.
You don't have to stop, but at least you have to advise that, please, even if he doesn't have, so long as he can feed me, it's okay.
Ama leta tu yenye iko.
Leta yenye iko. Alafu nyingine tutaipanga baadaye.
Yeah, I get that.
So you see, those are some of the challenges, and we hope and we pray that everything goes well.
Okay. So how has this Todonyang massacre, the recent one, influenced your approach initiatives, or rather, how has it sharpened your skills again? Something like that.
Yeah, okay, as Abdi, Abdi is the guy who has worked for these communities for very long. And the recent Todonyang massacre, a bit it has, I don't know. I have realized what I used to do, the belief or the trust that I've always put on my guys or my colleagues or my workmates on the other side seem to calm down.
Okay.
Yeah. In that, I have to change my approach on engaging them. Because, to be honest with you, we've always worked together without pull and push, like hatujai vutana.
Yes.
If they tell our security guys along the border, we have this issue that we need to address, our security guys or our stakeholders, they will always do as per what their request. And also to us, if we request them to do this, they have always done that before. But with the recent incident of Todonyang, imetufanya kidogo tumeona ala kwani tuaminiani. You see? Because we told them, now tunaomba mtupe maiti. Umeua ni sawa, but give us the bodies.
Give us.
But tunaona kama watu walikuwa wanatupeleka hivi. We took 1 week doing a search. Then he said no, you're not heading anywhere.
Yes.
To me as Abdi, we have a long way to go.
Okay.
To ensure that we build trust again. Your trust ilikuwa nayo kwao kidogo imeshuka. And if we have to engage them again, we have to engage them with a lot of curiosity. We have to question them.
Keenness.
We have to be very keen on what we agree on, what we don't agree on. Kwa sababu kama government imesema kitu ni hivyo. Hakuna mtu anafaa kupinga. Also on our side, on the Kenyan side. Once we agree, we have agreed. But for them, I don't know. But because also it has imenirudisha chini kidogo. The Todonyang massacre imeniweka chini kwa sababu kawaida, as I told you, kawaida whenever incident happens ya killing. Tukisema tunahitaji maiti, tunapata maiti. Alafu mnakuja mnaomboleza.
And at least there is accountability.
There is accountability. But this one there was no accountability. Even me as Abdi nikisimama mbele ya watu nitasema nini? Unaona? Watu watakuamini, wanasema mili ziko wapi? Wanauliza wakubwa wetu. Mili zetu ya watu wetu zilienda wapi? Unaona? Ethiopia inakatalia aje?
And you know sometimes people cannot be understanding even to you people. They don't understand what you go through.
Sure.
Wanataka tu answers.
Wanataka tu answers.
Yes.
No, okay, as a leader, you'll always have to give answers. And these answers, mostly you need to make sure it is true. Mostly, unakuwa mkweli. Na kama utakuwa unadanganya, usidanganya ukweli. Unadanganya ili ya kupoesha situation. Like a situation mtu amekufa. Lakini mtapeana muda, mnasema bado
tujapata,
bado hajakufa, bado, lakini you still engage the community until when they calm down. Now you bring them into terms. Yes. Unawaambia the truth. And this is what had happened.
A skill to relay information na good way. Yes.
Unajua if ukiwajibu tu vile umesema tumefiwa, you'll blow everything out.
Yes, sure.
And haitakuwa mzuri. But you need to find a way of holding that information. Kae naye kidogo so that the communities pia wa cool down kidogo na watafute, watakuwa na 2 more answers or 3 answers. But watakuwa na
moja
ile ya ukweli. So hawatakuja kusema mimi sasa ukikuja na hiyo moja yako then hawa watasema it's okay. Kwa sababu hata walikuwa wamepotea kidogo. Unaona? But all in all tunasema pole. To our communities in Todonyang.
We still look for the best.
Sure.
Okay, I would also like to know maybe the lessons you drew from these incidents. Lessons you drew.
Lessons I drew from that incident of Todonyang. Nilijua ya kwamba teamwork. Kumbe hakuna mtu hana yani kuna kitu haiwezi tumika wakati wa shida. Because in Todonyang, kila mtu alikuwa pale. You could not ask about anything. Government stakeholder or department yuko hapo yuko. Unaona? Ukisikia like for example like the county government. You know what the county government did? The Minister of Health. Pathologist. Ule daktari wa kufanya upasuaji alikuwa pale. Daktari wa kawaida alikuwa hapo. Watu wa mochari wale wa kushika maiti walikuwa pale. So hizo mili zilishikwa pale, zilihakikishwa kwamba imefanywa postmortem hapo na hapo. Hizo bags zilikuwa hapo. You see? So kila kitu ilikuwa hapo hivyo. Sasa mtu alikuwa anauliza hata watu wa mochari wamekuja hapa hivi. Unaona? So you realize alafu unaangalia kama Kenya Red Cross they were there. Vijana hapo wengine kuchukua records. Wengine walikuwa wanasaidia kusearch. Unaona? Wanasaidia kuchimba kaburi. Watu wa disaster walikuwa hapo, Ministry of Disaster Department. Walikuja na vyombo, chakula, nini. You see? So fisheries walikuwa wanakuja kwa accountability ya maboats ngapi ziko, watu wangapi walikuwa, there was that exercise ilikuwa inaendelea. So ukiuliza kitu mtu anakuambia somebody is working on it. Unaona? So security team, they were fully there. Both the departments walikuwa represented. Sema JZU, RBPU, police, nini, kwa pale. So what I learned is, the biggest lesson I learned, we must coordinate.
Coordination is important.
Coordination is very important. In case there is such a thing happened. Tuki-coordinate tu, it becomes easy. Hautaumia. Wakati you feel like you've been left alone, somebody is there to help. Think on your behalf. Because unaweza fikiria overboard.
Yeah.
Na kumbe kuna mtu amerelax hapo anasema hiyo tufanye hivyo.
Yeah.
Unaona? So coordination, it was key, and I really appreciated the coordination amongst our various stakeholders who participated in Todonyang massacre.
Okay, so the other time I had the deputy governor here with me, and he said that Red Cross desk recorded over 60 bodies, and yet you say these bodies were never found. What do you think families of the 60 feel like right now? Are they asking questions? Are the questions at least reduced?
No. Okay. You know, the community is there. It is not their first time to face such an issue.
Okay.
And you know, as the Turkana pastoralist, we have one culture. Our local pastoralist communities, they don't bury the dead ones. You know?
No, I didn't know.
You didn't know that? Now I need to let you know. Our pastoralist communities, they don't bury, especially the dead ones who have been killed by the enemy.
Even if the body is found?
Even if the body is found.
What do they do with the body?
They just leave it there and they move. The only thing they can do is to move.
They move from that place?
They move from that place. To allow that body to decompose and disappear is when maybe they can come.
Why?
That is one. Okay, I don't know. I also found it happening. It's a cultural.
That cannot be explained.
It cannot be explained, but our grandparents can explain to that. When I grew up, I realized when a small kid dies, he'll be taken into the bush, somewhere in the bush there. And it's not even put, they could not even dig the grave, no. Just put under a shrub, a small shrub. They cut leaves and then they put on it. They go.
Wow.
So the communities, especially the communities on that area, they have a lot of questions, I know. They have tried to raise on social media. The media was there. And another person I wanted to appreciate is the media. Fraternity. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was almost forgetting them. They were keeping the public informed of what was happening there. I really appreciate them. So the communities there, it is not the first incident that happened to them. I know they are now in a healing process.
Yes.
They are coming into reality. Wamekubaliana na what has happened. Because they have waited, and these are communities that lives around water areas. So wanajua tu mtu akikufia kwa bahari, kama imefika time kama hii bila kupatikana, that one is dead, ameliwa na samaki na nini, and it's okay for them. But inside their heart,
of course,
they are not happy. They're not happy. Yeah.
But it is the pain that they have wamezoea.
Ni pain wamezoea.
Yeah.
Kama hata wajazoea wamekuwa kisikia kwa majirani.
Yeah.
So unasikianga boat inapigwa na upepo, ina capsize. And one person will come and tells you, we were 5. I only survived. The rest
walienda.
And that is it. Unarejesha tu kwa mind yako nani ameenda.
Yeah.
But what I know to the families now in Todonyang, they are very much, they are still grieved now.
Okay, and correction to this, the Red Cross recorded 60 missing persons. That's what the deputy said, unlike what I had said before. Okay. I hope you heard the CS Interior and National Administration, Kipchumba Murkomen, speaking to media that the Dasanach were on a retaliatory mission. That Turkana killed Dasanach first. So where did the CS get this information, and is it true?
You know, that is a statement that comes from the senior most. and we cannot contradict. And as a national government, they have more structures or where they get information. You see, for me, if it is like that, they will substantiate it. So currently, for me, we will go as per what he said. You see, we'll go as per what he said. But the community is down there. You know, always when you sit in a village, there are a lot of stories. Someone will say this happened, this one did not happen, so you know. So to me, I don't know what happened, but I know an incident had happened. Even for them, for the Ethiopian, I don't know if they had killed the Dasanaj. They did not come even for the search. They could have told us to produce their bodies, you know. But with our security teams, if that is the information they give, I cannot contradict the statement from the security people.
But now here is the question. Do you think the Turkana started the fight?
Okay, what I know, the lake has never been at peace all through.
Okay.
There have been conflicts throughout. The Turkanas have killed Dasanaj, the Dasanaj have killed Turkanas. They have stolen the fishing nets.
Just
You know, it has been happening.
Yes.
On and off. Those small, you know, like in the lake, the killing of one person, it's not amplified. You cannot hear. Somebody has been killed. Like now, if I tell you now in Kokro, the Dasanaj managed to kill 2 Turkanas. Just 2, 3, 4 days ago. But it's not a talk. People are not discussing it. So the same, if they wanted to refer to previous incident that had happened, it is okay, because if we've had incidents, the Dasanaj killing Turkanas, it is never reported, it is never, but the communities themselves, they know it. The Turkanas kill the Dasanaj, or they steal their fishing nets, or their fishing boats or what. It is never reported. So we cannot say it is because of this that happened that this has happened, no.
Okay.
I cannot say like that, but I know, and everyone knows around Todonyang, incidents have been there throughout. Like they have been stealing from both sides, there have been killings of one person, you know. Someone is missing, just to realize he was killed by Dasanaj.
Okay.
But they cannot go and revenge. You cannot wake up in the morning and say, no, we are going to revenge one person that was killed yesterday. It has not been the case. They just wait until if they meet with the Dasanaj, they revenge.
So maybe this one came from the point of retaliation, but this one got out of hands.
I don't know. if it is like that, we can say it is a retaliation, but to me, I know it's just an incident that happened that people were not prepared for.
Yes.
People were never prepared.
Yes.
People were not prepared for that incident.
Because it was just out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was just out of nowhere. So.
Yeah.
And we say that one was out of, I don't know. People never expected, but it has happened. Yeah.
Okay. So we are about to wind up, and I would like you to tell us maybe what message do you have for maybe youths or people in these communities regarding peace building and the importance of dialogue over conflicts?
Yeah, my message to the Turkana people, the Turkana nation, the Atikar people, we need peace. We need peace more than anything else. We must have peace. That is a must. The bottom line of everything, we need peace. You know, as I told you, Turkana, Toposa, Karamoja, we will not go anywhere if we don't have peace. Even if we elect, even if we have very good governments, so long as we don't have peace, we will not go anywhere. My message to the pastoralist communities around our borders, let's embrace peace. We will have enough livestock. We will have everything that we need, but we need peace. You see, we must build peace around our borders.
Yeah. Okay.
That is my message. Although I know peace is very expensive, it is not easy. It is not easy to convince Somebody who has lost a brother, a mother, or a sister, or a wife, just yesterday or the other day, because of conflict. Tell him, you need peace with the same enemy. You know? But what I normally tell my people is, for how long will we revenge? For how long?
Will we lose people?
Will we lose people? Because they want to revenge, and also I also
want to
they want
revenge.
also to revenge.
It can't be solved.
It cannot be solved. So what we need to do is to let it go. Let us embrace peace. Let us just embrace peace. Because of the opportunities I see, the Turkanas, the Toposa, the Karamoja, getting when they are together.
Yeah.
Unlike when they are in conflict. You see?
Yeah.
We have a road that should connect Lukchoge and South Sudan. Tarmac. So fresh produce business people will move. There is gold in South Sudan. People will start getting that. There is fish in Todonyang. We have no road. It is cheaper to buy from Ethiopia. When we have a nice road, when we have peace, people are able to cross, buy fish, bring them without any issue.
Sure.
It will create a lot of opportunity for our youth, especially the youth. They will get employment. They will engage themselves into those businesses. But if there is no peace, what are we going to do? The Uganda one, 2 years, 3 years back, everything that was selling in Lodwar, it was coming from Uganda. All food stuff, all fresh produce, it was coming from Uganda. Cut us of peace.
Yeah.
And we really enjoyed life. We could not buy items from Kitale. When they arrive Lodwar, they are rotten. But Uganda, it was near. Moroto, it was near.
Sure.
So my message is, we need to embrace peace for us to develop.
Yeah.
We cannot wait. You know, the other parts of this country cannot wait for us. They are still, when they are thinking on construction, education, health sectors, we are discussing about ammunition,
Yes.
rearming our communities,
Yes.
migrating our communities,
Yes.
you know, securing them, you know. But we have not settled them. We are not discussing about other social amenities. We are only discussing about conflict. We want to fight with this one. We want to move from this place to a safer place, you know. My appeal is to all stakeholders, all governments, any other person along our region, let us embrace peace. Peace is very important. Peace is very important for future generations.
Okay. Last but not least, Monday is a holiday, and it's Eid al-Fitr. I don't know if that's the pronunciation.
Yes.
Maybe you could send a message to other Muslim communities.
Wow,
Yeah.
you know, the holy month of Ramadan is ending.
Yeah.
We have only 1 day or 2 days remaining.
Yes.
And to my fellow Muslims, Eid Mubarak. It is called Eid Mubarak. And it is the time to, this month, the last days that are remaining, we need to put more emphasis. We need to pray a lot, to ask a lot of forgiveness. We need to pray for the sick. We need to pray for peace for the entire world, not for this country only. Let us pray for our families. Let us pray for our departed family members. And I want to say, I'm very much excited because Ramadan, we will be celebrating Eid.
Yeah.
But to more Muslims, they feel like Ramadan should continue.
Wow.
You see, because this is a season or a month where most of the Muslims, they come close to God.
Yeah.
Because from morning to morning, you are going to pray, you're fasting, you are reading the Quran, you try to avoid many things that can distract your faith. You see, unaona unasoma Qurani, unafanya nini, unafanya mambo mengi yale Mungu anataka ufanye. So mimi message yangu kwa Waislamu, kwa wale Mwenyezi Mungu ameweza kuwafikisha mwisho wa Ramadhan, nasema asanteni na mwashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu. Na pia as we prepare to celebrate Eid, tukumbuke wale hawana, so that tuweze kushare nao kidogo ile tuko nayo, kwa sababu inatakikana siku ya sherehe hata unaalikwa. Unaalikwa.
Thank you.
If you have a Muslim friend, you don't have to book an appointment. In fact, there is no invitation. All Muslims' homesteads are open. Yeah, they're just open for their friends.
Yeah.
It's a time for celebration.
Yeah.
So for me, I say thank you, and I wish all the Muslim family, the entire world, Eid Mubarak.
Wow.
Yeah, Eid Mubarak.
Wow. Now before we get done, I would like to maybe just read one comment from a follower who has been on the live. So this is Cleo Lokuta, and he says, Habdi has always been passionate and committed peace driver in Turkana North. Having worked with him, he made my work easier. He would maneuver within Ethiopia to broker peaceful coexistence. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, Lokuta is is one of the boy childs.
Oh, nice.
Todonyang, you know.
Yeah.
And when I speak, it's good that they're following.
Yes.
And he really knows, he bears witness, he bears the pain. He knows what it really means having peace in that region.
Sure.
And I have worked with him, not me alone, but with other stakeholders. Our role as a peace actor or a peace champion is to ensure, to support the work of other partners who are working in those regions, to make their work easier, so that they don't get hurdles, so that they are not able to implement it. But my message to him is, we are together on the issue of Todonyang. Let's make Todonyang great again.
Great again.
To ensure that we educate our communities that even if that one has happened, we should not give up. Yeah, we should not give up. We should keep the message of peace. It is better even we have peace for ourselves. Even if we don't cross, let's have peace with ourselves first, so that we don't take arms and move. Let's make peace to carry too.
Yes.
Tufanye tu fishing around our areas, but tusiraid, tusiende kwa wenyewe, tukae kwetu.
Yes.
That is the message.
Yeah.
I appreciate Lokuta because he's a professional. Na ni mtu amefanya kazi kwa NGO kwa muda na tumeinteract na yeye kwa muda. We grew together. Yeah, so he knows me very well.
Yeah.
So I say thank you for his comments.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Abdi Achege, for sharing your invaluable insights and experiences with us today. Your dedication to peace building and conflict resolution serves as an inspiration to many. Yeah, and we hope that your efforts continue to foster harmony and understanding among communities in Turkana and beyond.
Asante.
Yeah.
Asante.
And to our viewers, I want to thank you for joining and staying with us till the end. But for now, good night. We meet on the Profile Show next Wednesday. I am Mario Nachokore. Thank you so much.